Steven Stone here, and welcome to another edition of the Analog Studio Barn Find. This week we're going to focus on this Fender Bassman 70. This is just a great amplifier, and it has a history of being used as a guitar amplifier as well for a lot of famous guitarists, as well as bass players, of course. So we've been using this to do a couple of these vintage cabinet testings. This one here has the two Jensen greenbacks in it, and it's just kind of been the magical sound that we found so far. It's been a fantastic combination of this Bassman with the pair of Jensen 12-inch greenbacks. So we've been getting a little bit of a tube wind sound from that at times. So I thought this week we'll pop the back of this thing off, check out the tubes, test the tubes, clean out the tube sockets, and see if that doesn't solve the problem, and see if we can learn something there as well. We're also going to have a great guitar player over to test out another speaker cabinet, so that'll be fun. And so let's get started. Let's see if we can't learn something. We'll start out doing a couple things with the Fender Stratocaster guitar, which has been a really great sounding combination with this and this vintage cabinet. So anyway, let's see what we can find out. So here's a close-up of the Fender Bassman. We've got a couple instrument inputs on the left channel, and this button here, deep, or we don't know what that is, not deep I guess. We've got a volume, a treble, and a bass. And then over here we have the normal channel with two inputs and a bright switch, which we can move, and again volume, treble, bass, and then over here a master volume. And this is the Fender Bassman 70. Now scratched in here is CVUSD music. So I'm not really sure what that CVUSD is. Music, maybe a college probably, or some kind of music program or something. But that's where we're at with the front panel here. So in the back here are the switches, and we turn right on here and it powers on up, which is a good thing. Now across the back here we've got a little sticker on here listed 155J UL amplifier, and then we've got a socket in there if we needed to plug something else in. We've got this ground switch, a fuse, and then we've got our on here and our standby switch, which is a nice feature to, you can still keep the tubes on, tubes hot, but turn off the functioning part of the amplifier. We've got a speaker outlet, a couple of 4 ohms speaker and external speaker, and a line recording. So that's kind of cool. And then this output tubes matching, and I'm not sure what that is actually. And a hum balance, and I don't know what that's used for either. So maybe we can find out what that is. Then on the inside here, we've got this little kind of paper sticker, and talking about the tubes and the classic 6L6s, which are the two main output tubes, the common 12 AT7, which you see in most amps for the pre-stages, and the 7025 tubes, 3 of those, but I think that these are maybe the two X7s, which are pretty common to, I think, replace those, but is what is in here. There's actually like a little bit of mold in here, and that's what that is. So we'll have to get that cleaned up here at some point. There's nothing like seeing these old tubes glowing in there. Yeah, it's really quite a beautiful thing. So we'll play the old Stratocaster here and have this over on the bass setting with the deep. We'll go with not deep. We'll go 10 on the volume, 5, 5, and on the normal channels we'll go 10, 5, and 5, and 5 on the master. So let's see what this sounds like over here. That sounds pretty good. So we get a lot less volume here on the second input channel here, which is kind of surprising. They should be wired together, I would think. So that's a bit strange. But I don't think we're ever going to have more than one instrument plugged in here at a time anyway. So I think we know this number 1 here sounds better. Okay, let's go over here on the normal. Yeah, so we really got some tube breakup going on here, and that sounds really good. Channel 2. So there's definitely a volume decrease on both of these second channels. So you want the gain, a little more tube breakup for some reason. And you'd think these would be wired together. On most guitar amps they would, but apparently they're not on this. At least not this one. So with the bright, let's put that. Well, let's go from before. And the bright. A little bit of difference, not a lot, but I think it sounds just a little better without it. But then again, Stratocaster, you know, a little quacky sounding, so don't really need the bright. You know, pretty in the middle settings on here. I think this sounds better for guitar. And over here, oh, we didn't do the deep. Let's see what that sounds like. Go over here and put it on the so there's a big difference. So that deep is just giving a big low end boost here. And I'm not hitting the strings any harder. So that's kind of interesting. So bass guitar probably is going to sound better over here. I think guitar players and normal kind of makes sense. Would sound better over here. Let's just quickly do the bright. Yeah, not really much difference. Not really sure that's doing much of anything after listening to it. Yeah, very slight. I'm just going to leave that off. Stick with the quacky Fender. So that's pretty good. This is a great sounding setup right here. The Fender Bassman 70, running through a couple of 12-inch Jensen greenbacks in a vintage cabinet that my amp tech was over here and said this is some old pine in there. And you know, this isn't a pressboard cabinet. This is a old pine cabinet from a long time ago. So something about the wood, you know, as we say, everything matters. So, all right, well, we got a pretty good feeling for the Fender Bassman now. And coming up here soon, we're going to have some real guitar player come over here and play through this thing. So, okay. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe and share this journey with us as we explore this 1970s analog studio barn find. We'll see you next time. Thanks.